Hey, welcome to another edition of the Skincrawlers podcast. This is episode 3. Today's show I'm going to be talking about the 2022 film Terrifier 2, which is a sequel to the 2016 film Terrifier, directed by Damien Leone, who also did all the editing for the movie and the effects work, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on it. It's an absolute gore fest, it's brutal. Art the Clown's on point as usual. The actor is phenomenal who plays him, David Howard Thornton, does an incredible job. He did in the other film as well, but it just takes it to the next level. The kills are more than on par with the first film. The first film's got great kills in it, but second film really delivers. Apparently there was even in some theatres in the USA there was vomit warning, so warning because of all the brutality and sickness in the film, and it is quite a sick one. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to get to that in a second, but I've watched quite a few good movies this week. Watched Pearl on Friday. Terrifier 2, when did I watch Terrifier 2? Monday night, so perhaps a little late to the party on that one, but still I was grateful to actually get to watch it. Found that online and got straight to it. Watched a good transfer of the film. Everything looked good. Also I watched Rubber last night, which I will give a few brief thoughts on. Not that there's many thoughts to be had on it. Pretty basic movie, but quite amusing in its own right. VHS 99 dropped on Thursday on Shudder. I viewed that Thursday night. I was impressed by it for what it was. I mean, these VHS films, I can take them or leave them, and they are what they are, but this was quite a fun outing for that film. Since Shudder have picked it up with the 94 last year and then 99 this year, I think they've done a fairly incredible job, really, with some great segments. Obviously it's a little hit or miss, as I said. Some segments are better than others, but overall it was a pretty fun ride. So I'll start with VHS 99. Got released on Thursday. 2022 movie. Synopsis: VHS goes to hell. A teenager's home video leads to a series of horrifying revelations. Just to put it out there, these my thoughts on these movies will contain some spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, turn off now if you do happen to be listening. So VHS 99 got a lot of good segments. I do need refreshing a little bit on them. It doesn't have a wraparound. Normally anthologies have a wraparound. This doesn't have one in particular, but it has a kind of wraparound. It's some guy playing with little plastic toy soldiers and doing their voiceovers for them, which is quite amusing. On one of the little segments of the toy soldiers, a big creature monster thing's killing them and attacking them, and it's fairly amusing for what it's worth. The first real segment of VHS 99 covers a rock band that was I need to watch it again, actually. It's pretty they killed themselves, I believe, suicide from what I can remember, and you've got these douchey kind of like teenagers, like older teenagers, who make home videos, almost sort of resembling like a Jackass type of home videos per se. So they kind of do stunts and crazy shit, and they decided it'd be a good idea to go to this abandoned concert building where this band apparently haunts it. So they, after making other crazy videos, they go there, and basically the band is resurrected from the dead and comes back in gruesome form as like zombies. So it's a zombie band taking out this group of teens, which is pretty amusing. I enjoyed it. One of the segments, which happens to be the last story in the anthology, also is about these two guys. There's a possession ritual going on, an exorcism. So these two guys, by witches, and these two guys end up going into hell, and there's creatures and all this sort of shit, and they end up having to try and escape hell and get back to the real world, which I thought was really good. Another segment features again, it's some guys making home videos, and they're watching their neighbour who they find sexy, and they're watching her, and they get their younger brother, who happens to be the one who's the kid who's he's not really a kid, but the teenager who's playing with the toy soldiers in the wraparound, if you want to call it that. They get him to plant a camera in their sexy neighbour's house, and she's being spied on, and then she finds out, and then turns into basically like some sort of demon creature thing, and ends up like taking them out. Can't quite remember what she was actually. Yeah, pretty much like a devilish creature. Yeah, and that's about it on VHS 99 really. Oh, there's another good segment, which is the second one, about a sorority, and this woman's very eager to become a part of the sorority, and so in order to join them, she has to basically undergo a challenge, a dare. And there's a legend about this girl who got dragged to hell, and apparently she haunts the graveyard nearby, and the dare is for this lady is to spend the night in a coffin, and even if she hears the spirit of the dead girl knocking, do not move or make a sound or answer, otherwise she will come and drag her to hell basically. And things go from there, and she gets haunted by this woman who committed who got dragged to hell. I was about to say committed suicide, but got dragged to hell years ago, and then she becomes another demonic entity and ends up taking revenge on the other girls in the sorority who left her there and were laughing about it, and are basically responsible for her death. So yeah, some good segments in VHS 99. Sorry if I stalled a little bit. It's I've watched that many movies, it's a little rusty in my mind. And then I got round to watching Pearl, which has been released for a while. 2022 movie, directed by Ty West, who did The House of the Devil and The Sacrament a few years back, and did X this year. Pearl's a prequel to X, so if you've seen X, you know about the old couple who take out the group of porno makers within that movie. And Pearl is with the old lady in that movie, and this is her backstory. So it starts in the early 1900s. She lives on a farm with a mother and a disabled father, who's basically, to put it straight, he's pretty much a vegetable. Like, he can't feed himself or wash himself, and Pearl has tendencies, and this film explores her kind of tendencies to inflict hurt on animals and people, and things go from there. And it really sets up X nicely. I heard there's going to be a third film in the series as well, and yeah, I really enjoyed Pearl. I'd say Pearl and X together are a great watch. I think I gave that a very good rating on Letterboxd, like a 4.5. But that's pretty much the story. It's the backstory of Pearl from X, and her exploration into her psyche and character. Really good stuff. Anyway, getting around to Terrifier 2, yeah. As a big fan of the first film, and I'm a big fan of All Hallows Eve as well. I mean, there's some good segments in that, like with the alien, but the stuff Art's in 2011's All Hallows Eve is pretty shocking stuff at the time. Yeah, he's a ruthless killer. We all know he's the clown. He's a mime clown. He doesn't speak. He does all kinds of crazy shit. Like in the first film, he scalps a woman and puts her hair on and dances around, terrorising one of his victims. The second film's great as far as the sequel's concerned. It picks straight up from where the first film left off. In the morgue, he brutalises the mortician. It's utterly fantastic. He basically pummels him to death and pulls out his brain, separates his skull, and like just yanks his brain out. The kills in the movie are phenomenal. There's a dream sequence where these people are singing this cheesy song at kind of family restaurant that resembles a kind of like Chuck E. Cheese type of atmosphere, and he pulls out a Tommy gun and mows them all down. Great stuff. All the practical effects in this film are amazing. The set pieces are great. At the climax of the movie, they end up in a carnival. The young woman Sienna and her young brother, who's Jonathan, and he's also trying to uncover the origins of Art the Clown, which it doesn't reveal too much in this movie. Apparently in the third one they're going to explore that more, because Terrifier 3 years ago, so that's been greenlit to go ahead. And yeah, the set piece in the abandoned carnival was absolutely eerie, and it added to the atmosphere, and the kills are brutal. I did think the first film was a little bit scarier because you don't know as much about Art. They don't reveal too much in the sequel, but they don't even try to explore his origins. He just appears on Halloween night and carnage ensues, and that's one thing that the first film had going for it. This film's very long as well. Terrifier 2's 2 hours 20 minutes, so it's extremely long. Breezes by. The film's that entertaining, and as a fan of the series, for me, it just breezed by. I didn't mind the time at all. I suppose they could do a shorter cut at maybe like 105 minutes. They could probably do it on the Blu-ray or what have you. They could probably do a 105-minute cut of the film and cut some bits out. If you want a more linear experience, like the first film's very linear and basic, that was apparently a lot of problems that people had with the first film. They said, oh, there's no story there and it's very, very basic. But I did like the linear aspect of the first film, and I don't think the second film misses it because it's a bigger production. It's obviously got a bigger budget. There's more Art the Clown in it. The kills were pretty brutal in the first film, but they're taken to the next level of extremity in the sequel. Another memorable kill, spoiler alert, so when Sienna and Jonathan's mother gets murdered by Art, he's played a trick on her and put loads of rubbish on her car and wrote bitch on the windscreen, and she wipes the side door mirror, and he sat there, pulls out what appears to be a mini sawn off double barrel shotgun and just blows her head off through the glass. So he shoots her and it comes through the glass and blows her head into pieces. Great kill. There's another brutal kill involving one of Sienna's friends as well, which was utterly phenomenal to watch. Very gruesome. He ends up scalping her, disfigures her, and there's bones being cracked and bones ripping out of flesh, and so many great kills in this movie. Another memorable kill's in the toilet at the abandoned carnival, where he basically gets a 2x4 with spikes on it and absolutely caves in a lady's chest, like literally pummels her to death with it and caves her in. It's not for the faint at heart, that's for sure. It's very gory, but I'd say if you're a horror fan, if you're a fan of slashers, check out Terrifier 2. It's, for a slasher fan, it's a pretty amazing experience, and it being 2 hours and 20 minutes doesn't hinder the film. It's worth it, and it breezes by. It's that much fun. It's a good job they did give you a lot of Art the Clown, because it's so enjoyable as a slasher fan. It's just crazy goodness. I highly recommend it. Can't wait to see Terrifier 3 when that gets released. There's a post-credits scene, so when the credits kick in after less than a minute, it goes to a scene in the mental asylum, and you'll have to watch that to see what happens. Really can vouch for that film. It's fantastic. It is, I'd say it's better than the first film and a big improvement, but I also love the first film too, so they're both held in high regard with me as a slasher fan. I think they're fantastic. That was just a short my thoughts video, so that's it from me for today. Looking forward to some other movies I want to see as well. I think I was trying to watch Barbarian last night, but the stream kept buffering, so I need to get around to watching Barbarian, and a couple of other things on the list as well. So I just ordered some new Blu-rays. I did have this movie before, but I sold my Blue Underground edition. I've just ordered the Maniac Slasher Classics Collection edition that just got released on Monday this week from 88 Films. So it's got fantastic artwork as well. I wanted it for the artwork, And I have seen the movie a couple of times, but I'm looking forward to watching that. It's a 4K transfer as well. It's not a 4K UHD, but it's got the transfer on it. And I ordered Satan's Little Helper, which I have on DVD, but I thought I'd upgrade to the Synapse Blu-ray, so I may do some my thoughts videos on those, although I have seen them before, so maybe not. But yeah, Terrifier 2, fantastic slasher, absolute gore fest, brutal, shocking, out of this world gore, to be fair to it. And yeah, I highly recommend it. And Pearl as well, great prequel to X. So if you've seen X and you haven't got around to watching Pearl, do give it a go. Pretty good stuff, in fact really good. Yeah, them two movies I highly recommend. VHS 99, if you've got Shudder, go check it out, or any other means to view the movie. That's definitely worth a look.